Okay, everyone, let's get started. So hello, and welcome to the third of a series of 12 webinars curated by SelectPath to provide organizations and their decision makers information and guidance to stay on the right path journey. My name's Gord Hart. I'm a Right Path advisor, and I will guide you through today's topic, flexible benefits. This presentation will be recorded and sent out to registered attendees, and a hyperlink will be provided to our client resources page on our website. We ask all members to mute their mic until the end of the session. We'll ask individuals who have questions to use the chat feature, which will be monitored, or jot down your question to ask after the formal presentation. SelectPath will create a record of the questions and answers to be made available along with the presentation. We're anticipating that the presentation will take no more than 20 minutes, which will leave plenty of time to answer questions you may have. We recommend that organizations reach out to their SelectPath advisor to learn more about the subjects covered in this session. The presentation is intended to be a guide, and as such, we recommend seeking legal guidance before making any changes which have legal implications. The opinions expressed are those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the opinion of the organization or your own advisor. If you feel today's presentation was informative, we recommend that you share it with anyone you feel would benefit from it. For some of you who may not be aware of all the facets of SelectPath product and service offerings, as one of Canada's largest owner-operated financial services firms, our businesses are organized into 4 unique offerings. Our employee benefits and pension planning practice boasts the region's most experienced, knowledgeable, and credentialed team. Serving over 1,600 organizations and managing over $500 million in premium, our benefits and pensions division is an industry leader in helping organizations develop, implement, and manage employee benefit plans as part of the total compensation strategy and overall organizational strategy to attract and retain your most valuable asset, your staff. Complementary to our benefits division, our financial planning practice works with organizations and their people to build a secure future with a team of certified financial planning experts. From insurance to wealth management, we can help individuals stay on their right path to success and security. Our human resource management practice is a scalable resource to help organizations manage their workforce with a hire to retire perspective, helping organizations execute their right path to growing talent. Our fourth area of expertise is helping organizations review and implement human resource information systems and payroll systems. Our team will help organizations build the technology to manage and compensate your talent. While not on this overview, SelectPath is part of the Navicord family of companies. Navicord's combined property and casualty business rank as the 4th largest broker in Canada. This breadth of knowledge, experience, and access to markets make them the perfect partner for your home, auto, and commercial insurance needs. Now, let's talk flexible benefits. As we start this journey about flexible benefits, it's important to frame how flex exists in the current employee benefits world. It's important to point out that 28% of plan sponsors have flexible benefit plans, but only 18% of plan sponsors with 50 plan members or less have a flexible benefit plan structure. The 2020 Sanofi Health Survey found that 67% of plan sponsors would prefer flexible benefits. Of the 67%, 43 are considering implementing them, while 24 of plan sponsors feel they are unable to implement due to the many barriers. These barriers often include finding a provider to offer a flexible plan for organizations of their size, having the resources to communicate and educate plan members, and just straight uncertainty on how to implement. When talking flex today, the marketplace typically refers to health spending accounts. Healthcare spending accounts are a simple, flexible benefits approach by giving plan members an allocation of dollars to spend on their health needs. Since it's easy to implement and manage, the plan sponsors are anticipating that these plans will play a greater role in benefit programs over the next 5 years. We'll review the pros and cons of this approach next. So why are plan sponsors turning to healthcare spending accounts? Mechanically, healthcare spending accounts are a drawdown account assigned to each plan member to reimburse eligible expenses on a tax-free basis. Eligible expenses are restricted by Revenue Canada guidelines for the medical tax credit. Plan sponsors can also set their own limits on eligibility based on their own criteria. Wellness spending accounts are the taxable version of the healthcare spending account. And since allocation is taxable, which attracts payroll taxes like CPP, employee health tax, employment insurance, and WSIB, the range of eligible services is much greater and is often only limited by the sophistication of the provider. 57% of plan sponsors have healthcare spending accounts, while 35% of plan sponsors have wellness spending accounts based on the 2020 Sanofi Health Survey. For smaller sponsors, though, those under 250 members, only 21% of plan sponsors have health spending accounts. Wellness spending accounts are a newer approach to flexible benefits, which allow greater opportunity for plan members to cover wellness-related expenses like gym memberships or financial planning, pet insurance, cleaning services, or even work from home expenses. So the primary reason for healthcare spending accounts is their affordability. Healthcare spending accounts are a bolt-on approach to offer flexibility without disrupting the underlying traditional benefit program. Since healthcare spending accounts costs are based on the consumption of plan members plus applicable fees, the fact that members use approximately 62% of the allocation means that 38% of the balances remain unused, which saves you money. Interestingly, when looking at healthcare spending accounts across the provinces, Alberta had a provincial high of 73% usage, where BC had a provincial low of 56%. When digging into why the money remained unused, the members state that a lack of need, accruing for future expenditures, or a failure to remember the benefit was driving the 38% of unused funds. So what is Flex? Well, simply, flexible plans are a form of an employee benefit plan that offers members some form of choice. This choice often requires a trade-off between coverage and cost, but does create an opportunity for members to cater to their own specific needs. Flexible plans are designed to create an opportunity for higher plan member engagement, which can lead to an improved ability to attract and retain the talent needed by an organization. The 2020 Sanofi Health Survey found that 86% of plan members say their benefits play a role in deciding on a job offer. Flexible plans provide an opportunity for plan members to obtain coverage they would otherwise be unable to secure due to availability, medical underwriting, or cost. One only needs to search the individual healthcare coverage options to understand the issues associated with affordability, pre-existing conditions, and limited coverage options. So you may be asking yourself, why would an organization want to offer a flexible benefit program? Plan members are not all the same. So why is your benefit offering the same for everyone? Workforces are becoming more socio-economically diverse. There are more generational cohorts in the workforce than ever before. Yet your benefit plans have remained relatively unchanged for more than 30 years. Flexible plan designs allow members to select coverage that's personalized for their own specific needs. As their needs change, so should the choices. Are the needs of your younger single staff the same as the needs of your workforce nearing retirement? How about young families versus empty nesters? Flexible plans allow sponsors to be transparent about employee benefit costs. Plan sponsors can potentially limit their investment or choose to invest differently for staff through the share of payroll deductions. For plan sponsors who build different classes of coverage for their workforce, they're always on edge about the wrong booklets ending up in the wrong hands and exposing their multiple tier approach. Flex gives this plan sponsor freedom to use the benefits as a total compensation tool. By virtue of choice and employer contributions, flexible plans create an opportunity to engage plan members about cost drivers and engage consumerism to reduce waste and maximize value. Plan members who are aware of their consumption will impact their future contribution requirements, are much more open to considering opportunities to better manage their consumption. SelectPath's educational specialists are able to draw on the connections between claims and costs to help members take advantage of improved consumerism. One of the great advantages of flexible plans is the greater line of sight for plan sponsors on plan member preferences in terms of coverage and costs. Members are allowed to vote with their wallet on what matters most, while the plan sponsor facilitates the options and commits to an investment. So what are the flex options? Well, there are four main approaches to flexible benefit plans. As the name implies, Cafeteria Flex is an approach whereby the plan sponsor declares the amount they wish to allocate to the plan members. In turn, plan members are supplied an array of options, which they can purchase what they want, what they need to build their own personal program. This type of approach is typically available to plan sponsors with more than 500 plan members and often requires a sophisticated system to manage the enrollment process. The size of the group typically dictates the number of coverage choices available as the provider and plan sponsor manage the risk of adverse selection. As the name suggests, Modular Flex is a curated number of pre-populated packages for plan members to choose from. Members can then choose to trade off coverage for increased flexible spending money or buy up additional coverage to meet their own personal needs. These plans are typically available to plan sponsors with 150 or more plan members. By limiting the choice to pre-packaged modules, the plan sponsor and provider can mitigate some of the risk associated with adverse selection. The choices are often limited between 2 and 5 modules. With Core Plus Options approach, the plan sponsor ensures that there's some uniform core coverage taken by all plan members. By mandating a core plan required, the sponsor is reducing the risk of poor selection by plan members, which limits the financial risk for the plan member, sponsor, and provider. The option selection is typically less complicated and often restricted to health and dental services only. Members can make their selection out of the allocated funds made available by the plan sponsor. The choice is often 2 or 3 curated packages. This type of program is typically available to plan sponsors with more than 100 plan members. As outlined previously, the healthcare spending accounts or wellness spending accounts are bolted onto a traditional plan. The plan sponsor allocates the funds so the plan members can draw down the amounts to cover their expenses not fully reimbursed by the traditional program. So, Flex has a lot of advantages over traditional one-size-fits-all approach. But what are the challenges? Since flexible benefit plans offer choice, it's up to the plan sponsor and the plan provider to navigate the risk associated with self-serving member choices. These choices can lead to higher consumption and therefore premium cost. It is this adverse selection whereby the plan member knows exactly what they're likely to use and therefore pushing the risk on the plan sponsor and providers that have to price accordingly. Anytime you introduce choice, the burden falls on the entity providing the choice to help individuals make their choice and understand their options. Navigating the choices requires education and a mechanism to make their selection. Most members do not have a sense for their own past consumption, nor have a sense of their potential costs that they may incur due to change in health or family status. The uncertainty about making choice leads to an increased investment of resources to ensure selections are understood and appropriate. So why is it so easy to say no? Well, with both the financial risk and communication costs, many plan sponsors and providers choose not to offer flexible benefits. This one-size-fits-all approach is easier to communicate and price. By eliminating choice, you eliminate risk and cost. This favoritism to no is easy to understand, but it flies in the face of the mounting data that suggests that plan members want and expect choice in their employee benefit programs. Don't let the provider's single-mindedness to one-size-fits-all product shelf dissuade you. As with many decisions your employees need to make in your organization, it's about education and process. Experienced advisors like SelectPath can help fill the gaps in oversight and decision management. While the choice by definition is harder, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. So what can small to medium employers do? Let's say you have less than 100 plan members. What are your options? You can hit the easy button and bolt on a health spending account or a wellness spending account to a traditional plan. Plan sponsors can choose to allocate new dollars or reduce their traditional benefit plan to free up savings to allocate to the health spending account. While introducing flexible dollars, it is still a one-size-fits-all approach. So the upside to this approach is limiting plan sponsor costs to the allocation versus the variable contribution embedded in a traditional benefit plan. Plan members have the money to spend at their own discretion, only limited by the account balances provided by the sponsor and restrictions associated with Revenue Canada guidelines. Providers can easily administer these plans, so there's zero risk since the allocation is fixed. The downside to this easy approach is that the risk is shifted to the plan member versus the plan sponsor or provider. This shift assumes that plan members can find alternative solutions and coverage which they lost. Finding this coverage is typically unavailable in the marketplace today due to availability, affordability, or medical underwriting. Remember that this is the cornerstone purpose of a benefit plan: to provide protection against unforeseen risk, to provide access to coverage that would otherwise be unavailable, to keep the workforce healthy, productive, and engaged. Here are some statistics worth considering. Only 49% of Canadians had a budget in 2019, as found by the 2019 Canadian Financial Capability Survey from the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada. That same agency found that 17% of the respondents did not have a budget because they were unable or overwhelmed to have one. The same survey found that 42% of Canadians without a budget had to borrow for daily expenses because they were short money. And sadly, the BDO Affordability Index in 2020 found that 49% of households with incomes between $40,000 and $60,000 are only $200 away from full-on insolvency. With all of this data from the Canadian Financial Capabilities Index and the BDO Affordability Index, leaving your plan members to budget their healthcare spend is concerning, to say the least. The alternative to hitting the easy button doesn't necessarily mean taking the hard road. Progressive plan sponsors see the big picture, the need to balance the pros and cons of flexible plans to build a solution that fits for their workforce of today and tomorrow. Unlike a one-size-fits-all, set it and forget it approach, progressive plan sponsors understand that benefits need to be actively managed to ensure they're delivering the meaningful outcomes that they were designed to deliver in the first place. Progressive plan sponsors treat their advisors as an extension of their HR team to help develop, deploy, and manage their employee benefit programs. So, you believe in choice, transparency, and member education. How do you execute? As any organization would do to deliver products and services to the marketplace, the first step is to know your audience. By engaging the plan members about their interest and willingness to choose, plan sponsors can gain an opportunity to understand what their plan members like and dislike about their existing program and how a flexible plan aligns with their wants and needs. Before you forge ahead with Flex, can you answer these questions? Does Flex help your organization reach culture and compensation goals? Do your plan members appreciate the value and investment into your current program? Are the benefits an important attraction and retention tool for your staff? All too often, what is perceived to be too difficult is only a facade to support the self-interest of those who do not embrace change. There's a whole world of providers that are looking for opportunities to partner with clients to build a deeper and more meaningful relationship that goes beyond price. While the big four providers like Sun Life, Canada Life, Manulife, and Desjardins have a stranglehold on the under 100 member employee benefit plan market, they all generate an abnormally large portion of their profits out of jamming organizations into their traditional box product offerings. SelectPath's scale and experience can bring willing and capable providers who are aligned with the plan sponsor and plan members on interests to offer choice. When implementing a flex plan, it's important to ensure there is a neutral option. While the idea that one-size-fits-all approach works for all members is silly, it's also foolhardy to assume that all the members are dissatisfied with the status quo. Giving members an out to stay put will reduce the normal friction of members for change. Realistically, there is a good portion of your plan members who may be completely satisfied with your existing offering, and that's really okay. Giving choice to those who are not satisfied, providing these members some options to change will increase engagement for that cohort. Giving more options to attract new members says a lot about corporate culture and brand. Ensuring that you have a starting point that protects your plan members against unforeseen risk and loss is a cornerstone of benefits. So keeping some form of mandated coverage fits the greater good goal that underlies benefit plans. Pushing too far with choice and change can leave plan members exposed and create issues down the road as the program does not meet their needs and therefore fails to drive engagement and retention. Remember that human nature is to underestimate risk and overestimate one's ability to predict the future. Curating a packaged set of plans limits the risk of adverse selection as well as simplifies the communication and education requirements of implementation. Using tools like surveys and benchmarking can help guide the design to maximize the value and competitiveness of the offering. Curating the offering also includes managing expectations on when changes can and will be made. Unexpected events will happen. Marriage, divorce, birth, death, loss of spousal coverage happens. Having a predefined set of rules around when changes can be made and how frequently the options will be open for reconsideration is as important as the plan itself. With Flex, process and rules are your friend. Determining a budget is important since flexible plan will make the plan sponsor investment completely transparent. Since the investment is transparent, then it must stand up to scrutiny of the plan members as part of their total compensation package. The number one factor driving plan design changes for benefit programs is unsustainable cost increases. Sustainability of cost is a key advantage of flexible plans since the sponsor declares the investment and the cost of the program is based on the consumption and choices of the members. Nobody's suggesting that plan sponsors do not need to revisit the investment into the program, but the change in investment is on the sponsor's terms and not on those of the provider or plan members. And a side argument for flexible benefits is the concept of equality. Do you pay your staff with families more than those who are single? Then why do you contribute more to an employee benefit plan if they have dependents versus those that do not have dependents? There are countless arguments around this, but transparency of flexible benefits will lead to organizations to at least address the issue that is otherwise often hidden. As plan sponsors venture out into the flexible benefits journey, it's important to define the scope of the benefits offering. The flexible plan can include many facets, including traditional plan offerings like life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment, disability insurance, critical illness insurance, medical and dental coverage. The offering can also include drawdown accounts like tax-free healthcare spending accounts or taxable spending accounts. The offering can also include group retirement elements because saving for retirement can be the most valuable to some members over the health and dental offerings. It's also worth considering the addition of voluntary benefits. Voluntary plans can be completely member paid or can be offered in tandem with healthcare spending accounts or wellness spending accounts. Like all benefits, one of the key value features of benefit plans is access to coverage that would be otherwise unavailable or unaffordable. Our second of our educational series focused on these voluntary benefits. Check it out. We hope today's presentation was informative. I'm sure by now you're wondering what a flexible plan might look like for your group. The reality is it can be anything you want. But here's a simple example of one client's journey, how they implemented Flex on a core plus options basis. So this plan sponsor, with 80 members, surveyed the staff and found that there was perceived deficiencies in the health and dental plan. Importantly, the plan sponsor was adamant that the life and disability insurance needed to be a required benefit and did not want to introduce any change or options for these coverages. Some of the members felt that the health and dental plan had no value because they had good spousal plans, so their preference was to have flexible dollars to top up their spousal coverage. Some members felt that the health and dental plan's coverage in areas of vision care and dental did not reflect the reality of costs and needed coverage in these areas. Most members were unable to estimate the cost of the current benefit plan. Most members indicated they were interested in contributing their own money to purchase enhanced coverage. The sponsor was committed to contributing at current levels, but was concerned about plan cost and sustainability. Armed with this data, we set out to create a flexible plan structure. We built 2 new plan designs to create 3 choices for plan members. These 3 choices responded to what the wants and needs of the plan members were and the goals of the plan sponsor. Level 2 was the pre-existing plan with a couple of modifications. We added a drug maximum to integrate with other available payers, and we limited the semi-private hospital to 14 days per stay to align with the realities of current day hospital configurations. These 2 changes allowed us to reduce the pulling charges, which reversed the premium increases over the last few years. Level 1 removed the paramedical services, the vision care, and major dental, as well as reduced the reimbursement for basic dental services. These savings were redeployed into a health spending account. Level 3 offered a higher drug maximum, doubled the vision care, and added an orthodontic benefit. These enhancements required plan members to contribute $12.50 per month for a single and $40.75 per month for a family. With this new plan communicated out to members, the members made their choice. So, 3 years later, 5% of the workforce chose level 1. 15% of the workforce chose level 3. That leaves us with 80% of the workforce that stayed on level 2. When surveyed again, the vast majority of plan members could adequately estimate the benefit costs and investment. Plan members rated the quality of the plan much higher. There's been significant increase in the usage of mail order pharmacy and a reduction in consumption trend on dental below historical levels. The plan sponsor's costs have been flat, and the benefit plan costs have increased less than 2% per year. So perhaps you're asking, why do all of this for 20% of the members? Well, considering the goals, which were awareness, education, sustainability, and engagement, the foray into Flex has been a success. Yet the investment of time and resources were no more significant than staying the course on a one-size-fits-all plan. The benefits are now part of the total compensation package and is used as a lead for recruiting, as well as a tool for retention. So I say, why not? This ends our presentation today. Thank you for your time and consideration. We hope the presentation provided you some useful information, and please feel free to share. We're always happy to connect, whether you give us a call, send us an email, like us on Facebook, check out our site, catch one of our tweets, or follow us on LinkedIn. Let's connect. We look forward to connecting, and bye for now.